What's going on, everybody? My name is Blaze and welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys had a very Merry Christmas and I hope you are having a fantastic new year. Now, there's been a fight that the rumors have been building. There's been back and forth, there's been talks. Now, it's not the one that I was expecting, to be honest, but nonetheless, there's talks about Logan Paul, the Maverick, versus Conor, the Notorious McGregor, in a boxing match. Now, well, I'll be honest, I kinda had a feeling that Jake Paul would have ended up sliding in and taking this fight based on his trajectory. He just fought Mike Tyson on Netflix, broke so many records, viewing records, absolutely insane fight. We could talk about that too, but we're not gonna, because this is about Logan Paul. This fight also, now that I'm thinking about it, I think it makes more sense than Jake Paul versus Conor McGregor. I know Jake was calling for that fight with the diss tracks and this, that, and the other, and him and Dana White don't get along at all. But I think that's what bit him in the ass. I think Jake Paul being who he is and Dana White being who he is, they were just never going to be able to agree. And even though it would have made great business, sometimes egos get in the way, which is why I think Logan was able to slide in there and get this fight, because he's partnered with UFC. Obviously, they're sponsored by Prime. Prime is on the Octagon and all that, and so they had a good working relationship. And I think that it makes sense if you also look at it. He boxed Floyd Mayweather. Let's not forget that. Logan Paul stepped in there with Floyd Mayweather, and if we're doing connections and this, that, and the other, Conor McGregor boxed Floyd Mayweather. Conor lost to Floyd, obviously, but past opponents. It kind of makes sense. Logan fought Floyd, Conor fought Floyd. Now Logan's going to fight Conor. And I think it's a better matchup for Logan, even though the size difference, I'm just never going to, it's beyond me. I think Conor's 5'7" or something. He's a tiny little man, but he's a little beefcake. He's been juicing, getting titanium rods put in him. He's been juicing to the gills, and I also think he hasn't been taking training seriously in years. He made Michael Chandler hold on for 2-3 years for a fight that never happened. It's kind of upsetting, but we can't take away, of course, from what Conor McGregor did for combat sports in general. Conor McGregor is one of the reasons that I am a combat sports fan. Well, many people come and they try to act like Conor with this persona and the ego and the cockiness, but everyone else is cringe to me because Conor introduced me to that persona, and so that's why he made me a combat sports fan. Although I do not agree with how badly he's crashed out, but once you reach that kind of superstardom, then I guess some people just fall to it. But I'm rambling. I've been rambling for a minute now. Let's talk about the fight. Logan Paul, Conor McGregor. Who wins? Now, I remember watching the Logan Paul versus Floyd Mayweather fight, and it never made sense. I don't know why that fight ever even happened. It just kind of popped up out of nowhere. Especially being as Floyd and Jake have had the back and forth with the gotcha hat and all this, that, and the other, and how Jake's pursuing boxing, Logan's not. So it's just kind of a weird, out of the blue fight, but I think it's a money grab for both of them. I think Logan Paul is going to make a shit ton of money fighting Conor McGregor, and he gets to say, hey, I fought Conor McGregor. The Pauls are doing crazy shit. Regardless of if we love or hate them, they're doing shit that other people dream to do. They're accomplishing things that people dream to do. And you can hate on them that for if you want, but I don't. I think it's fucking sick. Okay, let's talk about a couple things. Size. Obviously, that goes to Logan Paul. Floyd Mayweather. Some people say that he hurt Logan. I don't think he did. I think Logan's just too big of a person to be hurt by that small of a person, especially in gloves. He's also a natural athlete. So going against Conor McGregor, who was stopped by Floyd Mayweather. Logan was not stopped. They went to decision. That's something to keep in mind. We haven't seen Conor punch a person in so long, other than this footage that he posts online, which we can only take with a grain of salt. Of course, he looks great. Everybody looks great against pads and against bags and against novice sparring partners. We don't know the levels that you're sparring. So, with that being said, I personally think I would have rather seen Jake Paul go in there and fight Conor McGregor, because their back and forth build up over the years makes more sense. Jake's doing these massive money fights. But maybe Conor McGregor looked at that and said, I don't know if I want any of the problem child. Let me get the guy who beat Dylan Dennis. Which now, I guess, thinking about it, that makes sense too, because Dylan Dennis and Conor are apparently boys.
Stop the cap.
So I guess it's kind of like Get Back. So there's different ways you can look at this fight. Some say it doesn't make any sense. Some say it makes sense. Some say it's somewhere in between. I guess I'm one of those in-betweeners. I will just say this. At the end of the day, I'm glad we get to see Conor McGregor compete in some fashion. I want to see him punch again. I want to see him do his thing. I want to see him talk shit on the mic. That's what I'm probably most excited for. I just want to see Conor compete again. I want to see him put down the fucking cocaine. I want to see him put down the expensive trips and the lavish lifestyle, and lock the fuck in for a fight, make a shit ton of money, and go out and put on a show. I want to see a competitive fight. I want to see improvements. I want to see greatness. I want to see violence. I've just been yapping. Another thing to think about is what kind of undercard would that fight have under it. Huge names. But this is where egos are going to come in, because you can get huge names, but are they going to want to fight under these people? Are they going to want to fight under Logan Paul? Are they going to want to fight under Conor McGregor? So I guess we've been yapping about both fighters. We've been talking about why the fight may or may not make sense. We've been talking about their last opponents, blah blah blah. I guess the only thing left to do is to give what will my prediction be. My early predictions. The fight hasn't been signed, but they are in talks, apparently, deep talks and deep negotiations with partnering with the UFC to make this fight happen. I do think this fight may happen. We didn't think Logan Paul was going to fight Mayweather. We didn't think Jake Paul was going to fight Mike Tyson. We didn't think that these Paul brothers were going to come in and just take over combat sports. It's insane. The Disney Channel kid, the Logangers and the Jake Paulers and the finding people in forest. The growth from both of these individuals, mentally, physically, emotionally, intelligently, all of these things, like, congrats. Y'all can hate on it, y'all can hate them, y'all are just yapping, because y'all wish y'all could do what they've done. And I'm going to stop glazing now. I think the biggest factor we'll see is what kind of Conor we get. Is Conor really training? I know Logan trains his ass off with what he does. I do not think his coach is a good coach. I think Milton is not who he needs to have in his corner if he wants to progress as a boxer. But I don't think he wants to. I think he's a part-time boxer. I think he wants to pursue WWE, this, that, and the other. So why get a full-time coach if you already build this connection with Milton, blah, blah, blah. But that's neither here or there. Let's get down. I'm done yapping. I'm ready to give my predictions. Blaze, it's Blaze. His official prediction is that Logan Paul stops Conor McGregor in a boxing match. I'm not sure what the rounds would be. If it went 8 to 10 rounds, I would say it'd be in the later ends of the fight, because we've seen that Conor McGregor lost his gas tank versus Floyd Mayweather, and he was in his prime. So now we get to see a guy who hasn't been training. He's just been doing cocaine and getting blowjobs on yachts. We get to see if he steps in there and he's taking the shit seriously, and if he's not just washed up, and if this injury is not going to come back and bite him. It's a bunch of hypotheticals, a bunch of answers that we do not have. Shout out Wade. I don't have those answers. Also, shout out Wade. He's fighting in a couple weeks on Misfits. We're gonna have another video on that. But nonetheless, I think Logan Paul stops Conor McGregor in a boxing match simply because of size. I think Logan's size is gonna weigh in in this fight, and I think that Conor McGregor, he's an MMA guy. He's not used to it. He gassed himself out in the boxing match versus Floyd, although he did look damn good against Floyd, and whenever he was fresh, they had good back and forth, good exchanges. But I think the partying, I think the lifestyle is just caught up to Conor. I don't think he's going to win a boxing fight versus Logan. I think he should have got someone smaller, but that's neither here or there. I've given my prediction. I've yapped for a good 10 minutes, alright? So, with all that being said, If you guys enjoyed, if you guys agree with me or disagree, let me know in the comments who you think would win the fight, if you think this fight makes sense or not. And just yap in the comments. If you enjoyed, please like, comment, click the notification bell, subscribe, do all that. Share it with your dog, post it on Facebook, share it on TikTok, Telegram it. Just share it. I'm just trying to grow. Anyways, I love you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. Peace.